Hello and welcome to the Around the Clock Select Board Update. I am Yolanda Greaves. I have just stepped off as chair from the Ashland Select Board, and I'm here to give you our Select Board update for the meeting that happened on Wednesday, May 21st. We started with a scheduled introduction of our two new assistant town managers. Jen Ball left about 3 weeks ago, and we now have two assistant town managers. They are Beth Reynolds, who is handling community development and community affairs, and Catherine Bird, who will be handling administration and operations. So they were both members of the staff, and now they've moved up. What was nice to hear was, even though we've moved up to two people as assistant town manager, our budget is still neutral, and we're actually going to be saving some money based on the reconfiguration of staff at Town Hall. We had a quick public hearing for an Eversource NSTAR conduit going under the ground, so that went quickly. We then went into our old and new business. We had the committee for our BAA grants, our subcommittee of Claudia Bennett and Brandy Kinsman took us through the grants that they have proposed, and we approved all of those. We then also went into a discussion and vote on a surplus disposal procurement policy. And if you're interested in that, you can go check it out on the website. We had reviewed it 2 meetings ago, and there was some work that needed to be done in talking about taking information off of computers. So that was added to the policy, and we have now approved it. We then talked about the historical bylaw. We have appointed Makita Keegan, who's going to be liaison to the Historical Commission, to look at a historical bylaw for our town. It did not pass at town meeting, but people are still interested in either doing separate parcels or smaller areas. But historic preservation is important for many of us here in Ashland. From there, we did an update on some 40B projects. Most people are very familiar with the one at 10 to 60 Main Street. That is about 4 or 5 months into their process. Then there is the one at 61 Waverly Street. They're about a month or so into their process. And then there is a new one on the corner of West Union, so at the corner of Memorial and West Union. That is a smaller one, only about 116 units, but right there near the commuter rail. We then went through our consent agenda, and as part of that, we did approve a number of one-day liquor licenses for a number of new distilleries that are going to be participating in the Farmers Market, who has their opening day on June 14th. We then went into our town manager's report. He talked about the local election, which happened on Tuesday, May 20th. There was 2 contested races, one publicly, which is the select board race, and Joe Mignani and Brandy Kinsman, who were the incumbents, won those seats. And then Scott Pelletier won the 2-year planning board seat as a write-in candidate. We had a review of town meeting. There were 234 voting members in attendance at Ashland at our town meeting. A few good discussions that happened. As I mentioned in the meeting, it's always disappointing when people who are there for a specific reason then leave, even though there's more to happen. So maybe the next time you come, you stay for the whole thing. And if you've never been, look for our next one happening in fall of 2025 for a special town meeting. We then did an update on some of our open positions. So we have a planning director, and it's now director of planning and economic development, as well as an assistant planner and an assistant HR administrator. So those are in the process of being interviewed, and hopefully by June, we'll have all of them filled. From there, we did a discussion of some additional funding we received. Our senator, Karen Spilka, also Senate President, put some additional funding in one of the bond bills for some complete streets and funding for us to work on some of our street projects. We also then discussed an IMA between the City of Framingham and the town of Ashland for some work and a study that's going to be done over on West Shacom Pond, over on the Route 126 side of town. We discussed some dates for a board retreat. It looks like we're going to get together on July 12th. Downtown, we're looking to have things wrapping up in the fall. Same with Route 126. Warren Barn, we are working with Framingham State, and they are going to be going out for their request for bids to start moving that project forward. We also talked a little bit about some board reports, comprehensive plan, 2 nights of meetings leading up to our select board meeting, and another update, the Ashland Arboretum. is being worked on by Becca Solomon, our conservation agent. We wrapped up by 10 by doing a board reorg, so moving forward, Joe Mignani will be the chair, Brandy Kinsman will be the vice chair, and Claudia Bennett will be the clerk. And that was our meeting for Wednesday, May 21st.